What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's having an excellent day. It's been a rough 24 hours, man, hasn't it? The roller coaster of emotions. You have the highs from the win, then you have the dust settling with realizing that Aaron Rodgers is out for the year, and then you're trying to figure out what's next, then all the anticipation, and you're trying to figure out, can the Jets be a Super Bowl team, a playoff team? Is the season going to go to shit? You don't know, right? So the biggest news now is what are the Jets going to do at backup quarterback behind Zach Wilson? And to me, they're playing a very, very risky game by not signing anybody. Now, this is not an indictment on Zach. It's putting your team in the best position to win. Do you legitimately have faith in Tim Boyle? You know, Zach Wilson has a propensity to take some big hits. He plays a little reckless. If he gets banged up, are you willing to hand over this win now team to Tim Boyle? I mean, I don't want to waste any opportunities. I don't want to waste a chance to win any game because every game matters. At the end of the season, it could come down to one game, one conference victory, one division game, whatever it is. It could be for the AFC East, it could be for a playoff spot. You don't want to take a chance, and so today when Salah said the team may not sign a quarterback this week, my first instinct was, had the Jets put feelers out and the cost was too much, whether it was trade compensation or a guy that they may want, he'd be like, I'll come back or I'll play, but I want X amount of dollars. And Jets are like, you know what? I think that we're desperate. We're not that desperate. So maybe they're playing hardball. But if that is truly their approach, it's risky as hell, man. It really is, because I just don't know if I have a lot of faith in Tim Boyle taking over if Zach gets banged up, and maybe that's just because I just have that little cynical side of my mind. He's completely unproven. He looked okay in preseason, but you just want that. You want that solid starter, right? So I'm curious to see how Joe Douglas handles this. And the other thing too is when this whole thing's been going on, I had to unplug from social media a little bit because the arguing about Zach Wilson's gotten crazy. We got into it a little bit last night. It was like deja vu all over again, like the same Zach Wilson arguments. And the one thing I think we could all say is every Jet fan wants Zach Wilson to do well and take off. The best thing that could honestly happen to this team is Zach takes over the reins and just plays excellent football. And you know what? We found our guy. We found our franchise quarterback. How can that be a bad thing? A young kid on the rise playing great football. That's the perfect world. But the problem is we haven't seen that yet. This is his third chance to be a starting quarterback. He's been inconsistent. You have concerns about his ability to read the defense. And it's like we're to the point now where he completes a screen pass and we're giving him credit. Like, oh my God, he improved. He completed a screen pass. Even Sal referenced it today, the pass to Dalvin Cook. So that's how, he's such a reclamation project in terms of cleaning up his technique, building up confidence in his, building up confidence in himself, in his eyes, in his arm, what he can't do, and then having the faith and trust of his teammates. So there's a lot going on here. But these arguments are wild, man. We all want Zach to succeed. But the fans that are kind of skeptical, it's warranted. Right now, he's got to earn everybody's trust and everybody's respect because he hasn't done it consistently. We're not everybody wants to point to the 5-1 record last year, which is great. I mean, he was game managing and doing enough to get by. But we're also ignoring the fact that the last game of the season, the Jets deactivated. They were scared to play him. They'd rather trot out any guy they could other than Zach Wilson playing. They told him to go on the beach and read a book. In a game where experience always matters, they said, you know what, we don't want you to get experience. You got to go rebuild yourself. So these arguments are wild, man. I don't get it. I'm kind of staying away from them. We all want to see the same things, but the Jets got to help them as well. And the other thing nobody's really talking about, because we're so focused on this quarterback spot, is the offensive line. The run blocking was good. The pass protection was suspect. Now, it seemed like across the league that was for everybody, where the defenses are ahead of the offense. So you can say, okay, this is, Dwayne Brown's first game back. He didn't play in the preseason. Mekhi Becton hasn't played in 2 years. But Laken Tomlinson gave up some big things. McGovern gave up some big things. You've got to clean that up. The best way to help Zach is to protect him and not have him running around helter-skelter in the backfield, right? That's the first thing. Establishing the running game. The other thing is the play calling. And this is where, when all this chaos settles down, it's going to come on Hackett too. All right, you had this offense that was catered to Aaron Rodgers. You now need to cater this to Zach Wilson and go to his strengths. A lot of times LaFleur didn't do that. He looked like, when you could see it pretty early on when he's uncomfortable with certain things, don't put him in those situations. It shouldn't be run, third and long pass. That's bad. Put him on the run a little bit, get him comfortable early on, let him feature his tight ends, quick, easy passes. Don't make him feel like he has to play hero ball to make the big play to get the first down. So offensive line's got to help him. The play calling has definitely got to help him. The coaching on the sidelines got to help him. If he gets a little skittish and doesn't look comfortable, pull him aside on a bench and sit down and talk to him and calm him down. This is where you hope Aaron Rodgers at some point is back. He can help him with that. But this is on Calabrese too. Like, the one thing that's so funny is everybody's like, oh, we need Aaron Rodgers on the sideline to help him. Well, that will help him. We also have a coaching staff too that's got to earn their paycheck too and do their job. That's why Hackett's brought in. They brought Calabrese back for some reason. He's a quarterback coach. You got to do your job too. The other thing too is going to be receivers. Now, the receivers, Garrett Wilson is the guy, and I think he's probably going to get frustrated if he's not getting his 8 to 9 catches a week. But they got to work with him too and keep building him up, like give him the positive reassurance. Yo, you got this, man. Like, you got to work with him, man. This kid is going to need he's going to need reassurances. He's going to need some just like, I don't know, reinforcement that he can do this, because he's going to be overwhelmed, man. He's literally getting thrown to the wolves. Like, this is a spot where he literally knows this team has Super Bowl aspirations and the pressure's on you. If something goes wrong, he's going to get blamed for it. So while people are saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal, it is a big deal. Like, this is probably his last chance to make a statement to become the quarterback of the Jets. It really is. Because if he doesn't do a good enough job this year with a win-now team, with all these weapons around him and a great defense, you're going to have to turn the page. I think the Jets are hoping he can push it down one more year, but now you're facing the fire, and he's got to step it up. But it's got to be a team effort to help him, offensive line, receivers, coaching staff, and then it's on him, man. He's got to have to come out and play with some confidence. I'd rather see him play with some fire and go down swinging than play ridiculously timid with his head down and lost and scared. You can't be scared in the NFL, and the defenses they'll sense that body language. That's why when you watch like Inside the NFL or some of these shows, you can always see the defensive players saying, he has that look in his eye. Like, when you can shake a quarterback, especially a young one, or you can confuse him. We saw Sam Darnold with the ghost, right? The same thing happens with Zach Wilson. So he's got to really step it up, man, and it's going to be interesting. Everybody wants to talk about, well, it's not a week-to-week thing with Zach. I think he's going to get at least 2 or 3 games to get this figured out, because you have to. It's a new offense, and it's just he's getting thrown in there. But after that, you kind of have to have – you may have to have – at 3 weeks if it's not working out, you may have to try something else, because the last thing you want – is to trot out Zach week in and week out. And if you're not getting wins and your offense is stagnant and not even a threat to the defense, you have to make a change. And that's why getting a quarterback now, a veteran quarterback, whoever it is, has to be a prominent move here. It's got to be a move you have to make as soon as possible. You see all the different names. I saw the Nick Foles stuff today, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, which would drive me crazy. But it's going to be somebody like that. You're not going to get Stafford. You're not going to get Brady. You're not getting any big names. Cooper Rush isn't going to go anywhere. Jerry Jones talked about that today. But you got to be creative and get somebody. Your Jacoby Brissett's. Bridgewater probably not going to go anywhere. But you got to find a guy, man. So this is interesting. I'm really hoping Joe Douglas pulls the trigger this week. Get the guy in the building. Give him a couple weeks to learn the offense and figure things out. So if he gets pushed into spot duty because Zach gets banged up, or Zach is legitimately struggling, you can show the team you're not screwing around. And that's kind of the other thing too, where last year with Breece Hall, when Breece Hall went down, they went out and got James Robinson. Now that Aaron Rodgers is down, you don't want to stand pat and be like kind of arrogant. Like, okay, listen, show the locker room you ain't playing around. Listen, we know we have a hole. We need a quarterback. Here's a guy in case something goes wrong. We're like, all right, we're good. We're gonna be fine. You kind of make that statement too. But timing is of the essence here. Don't wait, because it's gonna take the guy. It's a short week now. You're already at Wednesday, so this Sunday is already out. But get him in the building, learning the playbook, meeting his teammates. He can travel with the team, do all these things, and then 2 weeks from now, if he has to come in or whatever, do emergency duty, whatever it is, he's at least here already. So we'll see. I think I rambled a little bit. I'm tired as hell. I haven't slept since probably Monday. But let me know what you think, and let me know what quarterbacks you want too. I saw some crazy names out there, but let me know what you think. Talk to you later.